I'm here with Helen Du Toit and Scott Smith. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Pretty great.
So what are you guys doing at the film festival?
Well, I'm the creative director for the Film and TV Forum, which is a 4-day event that we've just wrapped. It's a session where we bring in international film speakers who are filmmakers and directors and producers, writers, and executives who talk about financing films and all that kind of thing. So it's for new filmmakers to learn about how to get into the business and how to make films, and also for mid-level filmmakers who are looking to increase their networking possibilities.
I was here moderating one of the panels for the forum. I got to interview cinematographer extraordinaire Guillermo Navarro, who shot Pan's Labyrinth. And I've also got a documentary at the film festival this year called As Slow as Possible, which is a little movie about big change, but a man going blind who travels to a church in Germany to hear a note change in a 639-year-long song.
So how long did it take you to make that?
It took me 6 days to shoot and 18 months to edit. It lived up to its name, for sure. Yeah.
And how do you guys know each other?
Well, I work as a programmer for film festivals, but I also work as a producer. And many years ago, when I was in Toronto in 1995, I got a call from the Canadian Film Centre where Scott was a student director, and they were looking for a producer for his short film.
Those early experiences are valuable because you meet the people that then continue on in the industry with you and around you. So it's been actually really great to connect with Helen over the years.
So with this film, where do you see it going?
Where do I see it going? I see it going onto a screen. That's pretty much my job. I mean, it was one of those things that it was a little bit like lightning in the bottle. The subject told me the story of this composition that was to be performed as slow as possible, and it was an organ attempting to play a song for 639 years, and the metaphor of that combined with the metaphor of someone going blind and experiencing his own significant change just meant I had to go. So my job as a filmmaker is essentially to seek out stories and then try and tell them. And what happens after that is really out of my hands, and in a frustrating way sometimes. Thankfully, that's what engages me. Is I find a story and I can't not tell it. I spend all my time thinking about how to tell it. I then tell it, and then let the world decide how it wants to get it.
Yes, it's for you, the viewer, to decide what happens with this film. As Slow as Possible is the title.
The inspiration behind certain films that you've made or that you're going to make, I mean, where do you get it from?
That's a tough question. I tend to, it's taken me a long time, made 3 feature films now, and in between each of those films I've spent there's always this kind of excruciating period of time where you're wallowing trying to figure out what you're going to do next, and you're developing things and you don't really know what's going to light fire. And it took me until I'd made a couple, and then this one kind of confirmed it, that the only thing that I've gotten made were the things that I could not make, like that hit me with such a force that I felt like I had to do it. And so in many ways, my experience as a filmmaker so far has been a waiting game of waiting for those moments when the lightning strikes. And once the lightning strikes, then you're off and running. That's in some ways the easy part, because you're fully involved in the creative process all of a sudden. And that's what you're here to do. That's what I'm here to do, is be involved in that process. But waiting for that lightning to strike sometimes is a bit like treading water and wondering what's going to happen next.
When I'm working as a producer, it depends on the script. That's the starting point always. And I read a lot of scripts, but I'm not excited about a lot of scripts. But when I find one that I'm very, very moved by, or that I just feel like will absolutely grab people's attention, then those are the ones that I'm drawn to.
What were you guys doing before you got to basically this point?
I studied art at university, and then I ran away to Europe for 4 years and was kind of lost and had a really great time, but didn't really accomplish much. And then I started volunteering at the I came back to the Vancouver Film Festival, and I worked here initially in hospitality. So I worked in film festivals for 5 years in different cities. So I went, Vancouver, Palm Springs, Seattle, and then to Edinburgh in Scotland and to Toronto. And I did that circuit for a number of years, and then I moved into production. And when I moved into film production, Scott's was the first short film that I was involved in. So
I was a baggage handler with a video camera. That's actually, I'm being a bit more dramatic than I was. No, I mean, I fell into photography as a teenager and got a video camera when I was 17 and started shooting, and editing, and that was really when the bug caught me, and I just pursued it from there. And in the meantime, I was a baggage handler and a ski instructor and a grocery store, whatchamacallit. But it really wasn't until I was at a university and realized they had a film school that I recognized it was something I could take seriously. And I haven't really looked back since then. Once I got into that film school, it was, okay, this is what I'm here to do, and I'm just going to do it.
This is the part of the show where we say, the show's called On the Grind. And On the Grind is basically other people like yourselves in the entertainment business that are trying to make their way up, but not getting maybe a look at or anything else, and struggling, wanting to quit. We want to know what you can tell them to basically inspire them to keep on going.
Keep the faith, and don't wait around endlessly for the money. If there's something that you really want to make, get out and make it. Even if it means that you're going out with your friends to make something, just do it. And it's like building on that, and you will learn so much from the experience. And half the time we learn from the mistakes that we've made. The other half of the time from things that we've done right. Let accidents happen. Just but get out there and make the films you want to make. You got to keep the passion going. But the way to keep the passion going is by doing the work, not waiting for the perfect opportunity.
I would say that it can be discouraging because it appears that there's so many films out there and there's so many things out there, and why does there need to be one more? But I still think that there's the cream rises to the top, and at the top there's a machine that cannot pull the cream out fast enough. That we still need the machine itself needs more and more and more things that are good, and it gets you into the definition of what is good. And the only thing I can come up with is that if you commit to the uniqueness of your own personal vision, if you commit to that, what you as an individual have to say, what you as an individual see in the world, then that can't not be unique. So my advice is always to commit to your own vision.
I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
It's always an experience for me, and it's always a pleasure to see people who are doing things like myself, and that inspires me to just continue on.
Go right on.
Helen Du Toit, Scott Smith, we want to thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
And good luck with As Slow as Possible.
Thank you.